This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
Welcome to the news tonight with me, Evelyn Matthew. The focus on NDTV Hindu is what makes the world go round, according to some. Money in any form, most often in our country, as we have known in the last few days, it's bribe mamul, or also known as lanjam. We bring you a special report on how poor old lorry drivers from our city are plundered only because of the power of the khaki. But also at 9 p.m. tonight, we get into the minds of the mall planners of the city and find out what's brewing ahead of the holiday season that reads with it offers aplenty. Joining me is a manager with a leading mall here in the city, and on how malls today are really becoming that one-stop destination for everything you can possibly imagine. But first, let's take a look at the top stories tonight. The hands that's supposed to strike the lawbreakers is greased with the stains of mamul. NDTV Hindu blows the lid off on the khaki. The clock is ticking for the 2011 polls. A rendezvous between the state's political biggies and the assistant to the election commissioner sets the pace.
Ballot box.
Staging kidnaps is the bigger crime that's certainly on the rise. The top cop of the city warns of serious action against offenders.
I think we should be a little more controlled in reporting cases of kidnapping.
Karunanidhi showers the monsoon-affected districts and people with crores of rupees towards rehabilitation. Stalin joins in chorus. And come the holiday fever, the malls in the city are the busiest, translating every strategy in their book to a clever reality. Let's also take a look at what's making news in the national quarters. The Supreme Court questions P.J. Thomas's functioning as CVC for the second time. Pressure builds on him to take the exit door. The CBI raids CWG officials Banot and Verma, who tells NDTV everyone in the committee is responsible. Why book just them? The Speaker's meeting with all parties fails to end the Parliament logjam as the opposition takes its JPC demand to the President. Sharad Pawar reacts to Ratan Tata's Banana Republic comment on NDTV, says government must do something. And India is set to sign the nuclear reactors deal with President Sarkozy, but the French nuclear safety regulator is yet to give its go-ahead. Now imagine a cleaner of a lorry who earns about 150 rupees a day, having to fork out close to half his wages to bribe cops every single day. Now imagine cops forming a cartel of sorts to literally haggle with poor lorry drivers and cleaners, and even devising a system of signing receipts for bribes. The money involved may be a pittance compared to the multi-crore scams in the country, but the brazen manner in which the men in khaki grease their palms is shocking. Our senior correspondent Peer Mohammed and camera person Madan caught on camera this trail of corruption on the streets of North Chennai, through which 6,000 trucks pass almost every day.
Even before their morning cup of tea, these truck drivers and cleaners have an important ritual to complete. And even before signing their beat registers, these cops have this to do. Look closely. This is their daily bribe receipt being signed, just to ensure that truck drivers don't end up being robbed twice. Care for the economics? Over 200 rupees to pass each truck every day. That's a collection of over 12 lakh rupees. Each corrupt cop gets nearly 1,000 rupees of illegal money daily. The 6th Pay Commission may have given police constables a 5-figure salary, 11,000 rupees to be precise. But that salary is like pocket money if you compare what some of them get under the table, or rather, quite openly and shamelessly.
So corruption was at the lower level, the osmotic pressure. Slowly from the lower level it started going up. Now I find at the end of the day, I find that it is descending from top. And we started with an SP and we have now got elaborate setup for putting down corruption, and corruption is growing.
Back to the economics. 1,000 rupees a day from truck drivers alone adds up to 30,000 rupees a month of extra money for each of the many constables involved in this organized policing. But is that an initial monthly installment to repay what they had to shell out to don this uniform?
Sixth pay commission pay, modernized vehicles have not stopped the police from collecting their daily mamul from truck drivers here. Is there any solution for greed? Nobody has an answer. In Chennai, Peer Mohammed, NDTV Hindu.
And Executive Director with the Fifth Pillar Organization, Mr. Bhanu Kumar, spoke to us on what really rules the roost when it comes to such transactions.
There is no option. As a whole, corruption, whether it is in the higher level or middle level or lower level, it is bad for the society.
Absolutely.
It spoils the morality of the people. Especially the police department, they are supposed to be friends to the society.
Yes.
And they are expected to be very near to the society and take care of the requirements of the society. This being done day in and day out, though it looks like a low-level corruption, if we look into the amount of money which is involved in the transaction,
yes,
it looks like a middle-level corruption or a high-level corruption even. This is bad for society. Normally, a corruption or a bribe, it goes off the record. Normally, we don't get an evidence for a corruption. As far as possible, we go unnoticed. But here is an instance where the receipts are being signed for the amount taken by the cops.
Yes.
The receipts are said to be signed. That is something unusual. We can't come across such things in society.
Well, moving on, the dance of democracy in the state of Tamil Nadu is about to start, but the rehearsals in the lead up to the big polls are on, and the political honchos in the state met the assistant to the election commissioner today. While the members of the PMK party have demanded for the profiles of candidates involved in money laundering to be looked into seriously, the forthcoming election is seen as a rather crucial one for Tamil Nadu. Meanwhile, the Election Commission's office has assured that it has taken into consideration all the opinions and views put forth.
வாக்காளர்களுக்கு பணம் கொடுத்து வாக்கு பெறுவதை தேர்தல் ஆணையம் முற்றிலுமாக தடுத்து நிறுத்த வேண்டும்.
காங்கிரஸ் வலியுறுத்தியது அதிமுக காரங்க பணம் கொடுப்பாங்க, அதனால அது கொஞ்சம் பார்த்துங்கன்னு காங்கிரஸ் சொல்லியிருக்கலாம். எந்த பர்டிகுலர் பார்ட்டியும் இதில் விதிவிலக்கு அல்ல. இது பணம் கொடுக்கறத நாங்களும் எடுத்துருக்கிறோம். ரிக்கிங்கு, கேப்சர் பண்ணுறது இதெல்லாம் இருக்காமல் பார்த்துக்கணும்னு சொல்லி தேர்தல் ஆணையத்திற்கு நாங்களும் சொல்லியிருக்கோம். பணம் கொடுக்கக்கூடாது, பணம் கொடுக்கறத தடுத்து நிறுத்தணும்.
காங்கிரஸ் நியாயமான தன்னிச்சையான சுதந்திரமான தேர்தலை நடத்த விரும்புகிறது.
பழைய மாதிரி பேலட் பாக்ஸ் தான் இருக்கணும். தேர்தல் என்பது பேலட் பாக்ஸ் முறையில் இருந்தால்தான் எந்த தவறுமின்றி நடக்க முடியும் என்பது எங்களுடைய ஸ்டாண்ட்.
Now, with the spate of kidnapped dramas in the state in the past few weeks, the police is now worried that young kids who are afraid to face their parents because of reasons like bad results are now staging their own kidnaps. My colleague Salim caught up with the Commissioner of Police Greater Chennai, Mr. T. Rajendran, and here's what the top cop had to say about this recent trend.
Because the first kidnapping happens and it's given such a lot of prominence. Even children who go missing, they cook up stories, and in fact Coimbatore we had 2 cases where children went missing and then they came up with some stories. Here also in Kanjipuram we had a case where a boy, he didn't want to face exams, he just shaved his head and said somebody kidnapped him. So this is because of the media blow up. And I think we should be a little more controlled in reporting cases of kidnapping.
Well, staying with news from the state, the coasts of Tamil Nadu are bearing the brunt of the heavy rains that lashed across the area in the last few weeks. After leaving a trail of mess, loss of life and property, the Chief Minister is lending a helping hand to the families affected by awarding them a compensation of 2 lakh rupees and an amount of 5,000 rupees for those who've lost their huts and homes. Karunanidhi has also allocated 100 crore rupees towards flood relief works. Meanwhile, the Deputy Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has granted a sum of 1,000 crore rupees for the repair of damaged roads. Districts including Kadalur, Ramanathapuram, Madurai, Theni, Tiruvarur have been the most affected, and the concerned district collectors will be assessing the crop damage as well in the region.
சாலைகளுக்கு ஏற்கனவே 1000 கோடி ரூபாய் ஒதுக்கீடு செய்யப்பட்டு மாநகராட்சி நகராட்சி பகுதிகளுக்கு சாலைகள் போடுகிற பணி இருக்கு. மழை முடிஞ்ச பிறகு அந்த பணிகள் தொடங்கப்படும். ஏற்கனவே டெண்டர்லாம் விடப்பட்டிருக்கு.
Well, coming up on News Tonight, is PJ Thomas headed towards his end? To find out what's scripted in the CBC's career.